Good morning, welcome back to Farmer Analytics. Today we have some chores to get done around the farm, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. Last night we moved all of our electric netting so that our goats can have some fresh pasture today. And we do this move daily so that our goats can stay on fresh pasture. We can eliminate any issues of parasites being a problem, and it also keeps our pastures healthier. By moving them daily, we can make sure that our pastures have a rest and are able to regrow and are a sustainable source for our animals. Good morning, girls. You ready to go outside? And today we're going to get all these little chicks out on pasture. These are our laying hens that we hatched from our existing laying hens, and we hatched these out in an incubator, and they are ready to go outside. We are going to give them some time to grow out outside in a chicken tractor, just like we would for our meat birds. And then once they're big enough, we're going to put them in with the rest of the flock. One thing that we have added to our system here on our farm this past month are GPS collars for our livestock guardian dogs. This was added to our system because one of our dogs and the two goats they were with actually got out of their electric netting because the shelter actually rolled over it and knocked the fence over. And we looked for 7 hours for this group. Somehow they all stayed together, which really goes to show that our livestock guardian dog is true to her charges. And we found them 5 miles away. I don't know how. We live in a very vast mountainous area, and if they had honestly got any further, there would be no civilization where they were headed. So we're extremely grateful that the other farmer found them, penned them up for us, and we were able to bring them back home. It was a really stressful day, so these were added. This was actually added because it's a cheaper option for us than putting in a permanent perimeter fence, which is the goal. We would love to have a permanent perimeter fence one day. It's just not in the budget right now. So these, while they're not cheap themselves, are a cheaper option than putting in fencing for us. So we're going to hook everybody up to their collars, and we're going to get everybody out on pasture. This way. This way. Come on, right here. Having a collar on our livestock guardian dog is such a peace of mind. We know that if Maybelle, our livestock guardian dog, or Davy, the other one, gets out, those stock that are housed with them daily are going to follow them, and vice versa. So Maybelle really sticks with her stock. Both of them have gotten out before on their own, and they've always come back for the stock. The fact that they followed each other is the scary part, and means that they could just go on an endless adventure together. So the peace of mind of having a GPS collar is massive for us. We probably won't be able to afford permanent perimeter fencing on this property for a pretty long time. It's a goal. It's something we would love to do. However, the budget just doesn't allow for it right now. So the best we could do at this point is keep a collar on both dogs, and they really are a huge investment. So they're kind of our main priority in getting returned if anything gets loose. And obviously we love our goats, but those are a little bit more replaceable than a fully trained livestock guardian dog. And like I mentioned, we use electric temporary netting, which means this can get moved daily versus a hard perimeter fence that is permanent and you cannot move. We do this so that we can rotationally graze, and it has worked well for us for 7+ years at this point. Animals definitely can push through it, especially if the electric charger on it is not strong enough, they are not afraid of a little bit of a shock to get through it and get to, let's say, better grass, or get back to a lamb if you're at weaning time. Anything that's highly motivative, they will probably get through it if they really, really want to. If you keep the shock high on this and they are well trained to it, it should work. The only reason these guys got out a couple weeks ago is because our mobile shelter actually rolled into it and knocked the whole thing down. Everybody just walked right over it. So keeping stuff like that in mind, because this is not that secure in the ground, it's not going to stop a heavy rolling object or an animal that really, really wants to get out. Rotationally grazing allows us to be able to not only manage our animals' health, meaning, avoiding parasite risk by moving them quicker than the parasite cycle and quicker than that ground gets too low, but it also allows us to better manage our pastures and evenly mow everything down, and at the same time allowing that pasture to regrow and recover as the seasons change and as the grazing season goes on. We can quickly move on and off of certain areas that we want to mow down and move off of areas that really need to be rested and have a regrowth period. These two does that we have in here are destined to be our milking goats. They are just about 1 year old at this point. We are planning to breed them this fall and kid out in the spring and then hopefully start milking. These are Nubian does, and they are known for their milk quality, their milking abilities, and they are truly a dairy breed. And we are so excited to get into all dairy things, cheeses and ice creams and butter, you name it. We are going to try it all. There are recipes and all sorts of ways to utilize goat's milk just as well as you can utilize cow's milk, and we'll be doing it all in the spring. We have had so many problems with deer getting into this garden this year, and our greenhouse as well. But this garden, we are trying something new here. We originally had this electric netting around it, and the deer essentially are just jumping right over it. They came in here and they chewed on a bunch of my beautiful, biggest pumpkins. They also ate almost all of the yellow and green squash that I had growing in here. And so we are trying an extra layer of protection in here and what's called a 2D fence. So essentially you set up one set of netting and then about 5-ish feet off of that set up a second set of netting, and it's supposed to kind of mess with their depth perception and their ability to jump over one fence at a time or both fences. So far I have seen the deer come up, inspect it, and walk away at least 4 times. So far so good, it's working. We'll see if they get a little bit more confidence as the season goes on, and hopefully they do not figure it out. These birds will stay out here at least for another couple weeks. We're going to give them time out here to grow out and be big enough and strong enough before we introduce them to the main flock. And We'll move this probably every couple days. Probably doesn't need to be every single day since they have so much space in here for the amount of birds that are in here. And we'll make sure that our electric netting is turned on at night specifically so we don't get anything like skunks or foxes or anything that could dig under these tractors and get to them. That's it for today. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for joining me.